Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, All Things Tonya. If you are visiting for the very first time on my channel, I love creating fun, easy, and affordable DIYs. Today I decided on the color black and white, and then I wanted to use items that were very much affordable, so I'm using items from the Dollar Tree. I truly hope that these DIYs inspire you in some way, and you would consider subscribing to my channel. Now let's turn these Dollar Tree items into some beautiful decor for our homes. For my first DIY, I will be using these two round bowls from the Dollar Tree, and I will also be using these little pots that I picked up around St. Patrick's Day from the Dollar Tree. I want to add some paint to the top of my bowls, so instead of using painter's tape, I'm going to use electrical tape because it has more stretch to it and I will be able to take it around the top of the bowl. As you can see here, as I'm taking it around, it is lying flat around the bowl and it's not leaving any gaps like the painter tape will, so this is so much easier to use. Look how perfectly the fit is around the bowl. There aren't any gaps at all, and it's going to make it so much easier to paint. I'm going to complete the same process with the second bowl, and then I'm going to begin to paint. Now that I have tape around both bowls, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint colored ink, and I'm going to paint around the rim of the bowls. Prior to applying my paint, I did wipe around the bowls with some alcohol to make sure that they were completely clean so that the paint would adhere to the jars very easily. For the most part, I only had to apply one coat of paint around the rim, but after drying, I did have to go in and retouch a few spots. Now I'm going to remove the tape and you will see how straight the lines are, why this tape is so much more easier and better to use than painter's tape. Look how crisp that line is. I really love how it turned out. Now I'm going to take my little black pots and I'm going to remove the handles from them. They're very easy to remove because it is plastic. And then I'm going to attach them using my glue gun to create some holders for my glass bowls. First, I'm going to glue together two of them because I want the holders to be different heights. And then I'm going to glue the other three on top of each other. Yes, the hot glue did melt the pots just a little, but I do think it created a better hole, especially since I'm going to be putting the bowls on top. This is what the base is looking like so far. Now I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint colored ink, and I am going to paint over the pots to blend everything together. The paint is actually covering all of the creases and perhaps covering some of that hot glue that may have seeped through. Now I'm going to add some more hot glue to the top and attach my bowl. After attaching the bowls to the top of the pots, the only thing left for me to do is to decorate them and show you guys how beautifully they turned out. This DIY is going to be so very easy, guys. I'm going to be using these bamboo rings from the Dollar Tree. All I'm going to do is take these rings and I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint colored ink and I'm going to give them one coat of the paint. I am going to paint every part of the bamboo rings, the inside, around the edges, and the outside. Next, all I'm going to do is put one ring inside of the other, just like this, and I will be using hot glue to make sure they stay in place, but I want to make sure that they are in the correct spot before applying the hot glue. I'm going to use one of the wood tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree as my stand. I did paint it black, and I'm just going to glue it to the bottom of my rings. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for my larger rings. I'm just going to put one inside of the other. Take a wood tumbling block and glue it to the bottom so that I will have a stand for this one as well. Now, like I told you guys, this one was really simple. That is it for this DIY. I'm going to take the two bows from my previous project and I'm going to glue them inside of the rings, decorate them, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. For this DIY, I will be using this fall sign that I picked up from the Dollar Tree when the price was actually $1. And I will also be using this decal that I picked up from the Dollar Tree as well. As you can see, I'm removing all of the extra pieces from the sign because I will actually be using the back to create my project and I will be using craft paper to cover the front. I'm going to use my sanding bar to sand down the staple holes because I want to have a smooth surface when I apply my paint. Now I'm just going to cut a small piece of this craft paper and I'm going to glue it to the front of my sign so that I will have a beautiful project when I'm done and do not have to worry about the fall sign on the back. I am just going to apply some hot glue to the front of the sign, attach the craft paper, and smooth it out with my Cricut scraper. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut away all of the extra paper and use my sanding bar to scrape away all of the excess. Now I have a sign that is ready to be painted. I am going to use my Waverly chalk paint color white and I am going to paint what is now the front of my sign. I'm only going to give the sign one coat of the Waverly chalk paint before applying my decal. I'm going to try something here and I'm going to see if it will work. I'm going to use a piece of this electrical tape and I am going to use a small piece for both ends of my sign. I'm going to take a small piece of this black and white ribbon and I'm going to place it right on top of the electrical tape. And then I'm going to duplicate the same exact thing for the other side. Now I'm going to use a ruler and a pencil to draw some lines on my sign to create a shiplap look. Lines appear that they are a part of the sign. I am going to take a dry paper towel and I'm going to smudge the lines just a little to blend them in with the paint. Next, I am going to carefully apply my decal to the front of my sign. And then I am going to dry brush a little of the white paint over the sign to blend it in. And that will be it, guys, except for a few pieces of greenery that I am going to add to each end of the sign. I'm going to add a chain to the top so that I will be able to hang it. And then this DIY will be completed. I hope you like it. It was very simple, but I think it turned out just beautifully. Let me know what you think in the comments below. For my final DIY, I will be using these picture frames, this scrapbook paper, and these rub-on decals that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. This DIY is very simple as well. I'm going to remove the backing from the frames, take the scrapbook paper and place it inside of the frames just like this. Cut the scrapbook paper down to size, and then I am going to add a rub-on decal. That is it. It is just that simple. The rub-on decals are very easy to apply. You just choose the decal that you would like to add to your project, place it down, and rub it on. Now I'm going to put the scrapbook paper inside of the frame by attaching all of the pieces, and then I'm going to repeat the same process for the other two frames. This frame is going to be in the center, so it's going to be the only frame that has words. The other two is just going to have a little floral piece in the center, and then I'm going to attach all three frames. Now that I have all three of my pictures framed, I am going to flip them on the back, and then I am going to glue all three of the signs together, and I am going to use some craft sticks for reinforcement. Notice that I chose not to remove the stands from the back of the picture frames. That would give you two options. You will be able to sit this sign on a shelf without having to create a stand, or you can attach a hanger so that you could use it as wall art. Here I am gluing on some craft sticks for extra support, and then I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to paint them black so that they will blend in with the rest of the sign. Now let me show you how you can have your sign stand alone by using the stands on the back of the picture frame. The last thing I'm going to do is add some greenery to the top of the frame just to give it a little color, and this DIY will be completed. I hope you love all four of them as much as I do. Please do not forget to leave a comment to let me know what you think about tonight's DIYs. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for spending a small part of your day with me. Remember, if this is your first time stopping by, I hope you enjoyed tonight and will consider subscribing to my channel. Please do not forget to like this video by giving it a thumbs up because that really helps to support the growth of my channel. Here are two more of my videos. I hope you will enjoy them as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye, guys.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on my mommy's channel.